Good morning. So it turns out I've been keeping a secret from you all for almost 2 months. And that was never the plan, but here we are regardless. It's now November, but the story starts back in September.
So, what are we doing?
We're gonna go buy a van.
We're gonna go look at a van.
We're gonna go look at a van and potentially buy a van today. Hopefully buy a van today.
Excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah. Unfortunately, the van is the other side of the country, so basically our whole day is driving over, seeing if we like it, and then figuring out what's next. But you know, there are worse ways to spend a day, and it will make all upcoming Tough Souls adventures much easier. Not that we have another mountains project in the pipeline or anything like that. That sounds like we do, but we genuinely don't.
You heard it here first, we're doing it again!
But you know, living in the car for that adventure was a bit much. So I think a van makes a lot of sense for Tough Souls and us in general.
Yep.
Don't you?
I certainly do.
Yeah.
Well, time for 3.5 hours in the car to get there.
Yeah.
So we may have bought a van. It's the first one we've actually got to see in person. There's one or two other ones that were on the cards but didn't work out, and yeah, like,
This is honestly the one.
yeah,
Of the ones that we had on our list, this is the one.
yeah, for the price budget we have, for the level of finish it has, yeah, for what we need in a van, I think it is the perfect starting point. So yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited. Didn't want to film at somebody else's house, so you're gonna have to wait until we get home and the van gets home from my mechanic before you see it. But luckily for you, that's instantaneous and not several days like it will be for me. So I guess you need a little update on the van. So the van made it to Roscommon and it went through the CVRT or the NCT or MOT or whatever collection of letters your country uses to describe the test for roadworthiness. And it only had some minor work to be done. So got the work done eventually. It was mechanic holiday time when I first got the van. But anyway, got that work done and got it retested, got it passed. And so this weekend was the maiden voyage, or is the maiden voyage. I am up in Dublin, well, North County Dublin. I was working yesterday and finished work at about 9 p.m. and drove out to this spot and put everything up and went to sleep. And I didn't sleep amazing, but I slept okay. I'm very happy with that being my first night of sleep. I think it worked very well. I need to replace the leisure battery, so I'm going to go to Halfords now and see if they will help me with that. It'd be really great if they do. I know they sell them, and I know that they sometimes help like install and everything, so if they were able to swap out the leisure batteries for me, that would be incredible, because I don't yet have those electrical skills and I'm willing to gain them, but it would be very convenient for now if I had a little bit of help. Yeah, I'm really happy. The van is really nice to drive. The bed was comfy, I wasn't cold. I actually had a window cracked for airflow. Yeah, it's happening. So I feel like it's going to start getting busier here soon. So I'm going to leave it at that, but I'll give you a proper tour once I'm home, and you can see it all, and it's magic.
This is it. This is the van. It is a Volkswagen T5, and it's 20 years old. And it turns out I knew the guy who converted this van. It is a lovely pastel yellow, and it has been incredible to finally have a van. I'm so happy. So what happened was, Carl and I had been spending quite a while looking at vans. At the end of the summer, it just kind of got to a point where I travel so much for work, and then we want to go on adventures, and it just kind of all built, like we've been saying we want a van for years, and I don't know why, but it all just kind of culminated at the end of this summer in us starting to search for a van. And we got very close to a few of them, but there's a thriving van market in Ireland. They are a well-wanted commodity, and so we just got very lucky that I saw this van on Dundee as fast as I did. I think. However, that clip of us going to see the van and buying it, that was right as we got really sick. So for the rest of September and the start of October, we were just wiped. So it took us a few weeks to do the tax, insurance, roadworthiness, all of that stuff. And then it took us a few weeks to recover from being ill. And then I took the van on a couple of work trips, and I used it for the women's bouldering meet in Glendalough. And then I helped my sister move house. So the van was full of furniture for a little while. And that wasn't exactly going to show it off. Well, you weren't going to be able to see anything, never mind showing it off in its best light, you know. So this week on Monday, I delivered my sister's furniture to Tipperary, and then on Tuesday I was filming in Killarney, and now it's Thursday and I've just been travelling around in it all week, and I won't be home until Sunday. So it's been a really cool change, a really good change. Yeah, that's the timeline. So let me, I guess, show you a little bit inside. Okay, so as it's been very obvious, this van was built out when we bought it. We didn't have to do the build. We thought we might have to, with budget and everything, but we got very lucky. So this bed pulls out to hit up here, so you get basically a double bed. It'll be a little cozy with Carl and myself, but honestly, like, it's a very comfortable sized bed. Those are the two layers that when it pulls out, it flops down. I should close that before I drive away later. We have a tiny sink. Now, this sink is definitely more of a pretty sink than a functional sink. It is very small. That might be something that gets changed at some point. We will see. Our water tanks, I have food, toiletries, cleaning, stove. We have a fridge over here. I don't know if you can see that far. Anyway, there's a fridge over here, and cooking utensils. I'll show that corner in a second. And then my clothes, Carl's clothes, and then all under the bed is also storage, which we can access from the back door. Yes. So for the drawers, there are slides to secure them, the usual. These ones have hooks. I also haven't closed any of these. Well, this is the fridge. You're not going to be able to see it, but there's a fridge in there. And cooking utensils, that's some clothes. And then this one is like a counter extension. As you can just about see from where you are, the two front passenger seats fold down flat, which I've actually found really useful as just like extra space. And you can also see over here that my bedding is currently just sitting on the driver's seat. That will go just back there when I'm driving. It was a handy spot to be able to put it for now to show you around the van. But yeah, the care that's been put into converting this van is so nice. We have a window in the kitchen, and then there's also a window on the sliding door, and which just lets in a nice amount of light. There are lights obviously in the van as well. The leisure battery. Oh yes, I went to Halfords and the guy was super nice. He really tried to help me take it out, but we needed to remove the whole seat and one of the bolts was like welded shut basically. So I had to bring it to my mechanic, and he eventually got the seat out and got the batteries switched. But yeah, that was like some of the only fixes I had to do. I made a new curtain for the back window, a magnetic curtain that would connect onto the door. But otherwise, we've been so lucky. I'll be putting new tyres on it next week, but those are all the usual things that you do when you have a vehicle. So this is the back. You can see some of my messy packing. As I said, I was helping my sister move house. So when I was adding in my stuff then on top, I didn't really have a place for everything when I left home, and so I'm still finding the places. But yeah, that's just random bits. And then we have like buckets of gear. There's a whole second row of gear in there. There really is a lot of storage. I wouldn't mind being able to access it from the front. Sometimes I forget that I need something, and then I have to get out and open the boot and dig it all out. But that's just a bit of practice, I think. There's my curtain. I've got a strange little cubby hole here. It goes back like further than I can reach. It goes back the whole length of the bed. And I don't exactly know what to do with it. I'll find something that fits in there for sure. It's just one of the more bizarre little corners. Okay, it started to rain a bit more heavily, so we've come back inside. Yeah, so as you can see, it's not a van that I can stand in. I can sit very comfortably in it, and I know some people feel very strongly about having a van that you can stand in, and I definitely understand that. Getting changed when you're soaking wet is a lot easier if you can stand straight up. However, this van is still very car sized. It's been incredibly easy to drive, like super nice to drive. I've really enjoyed it. It fits under a lot of barriers, a lot of the barriers into, let's say, different forestries or recreation areas, which is really valuable for me and where I go. So who knows, maybe down the line I'll end up with a bigger, different van. Maybe I'll end up with a smaller van. Things can happen, you know. I'm not expecting it, but things can happen. So yeah, let me know any advice you have if you have a van, have had a van. My next immediate purchase is packing cubes for my clothes. It'll just make it a lot easier to organise them on the shelves, which is just a simple thing of, it's so much easier to manage yourself in a small space for me when I have everything subdivided, which is what I've kind of gained from through hiking and camping and all the other outdoor sports I've done, which I guess has made the transition really easy, has made it feel very luxurious to have all this space. I already have my toiletries and all my food and stuff organised in ways that I would have organised it when I was camping. I just have it on a larger scale here, which is very cool. But yeah, I'll take any advice you have going, and yeah, hopefully it's going to make a lot more Tough Souls adventures easier to do and document, and also just really handy for me for work. So I'm really happy, and yeah, I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more of these shots in your future. But yeah, that's all for now. Thank you so much to our patrons who support us on Patreon and enable me to keep making videos and sharing adventures around Ireland. They did not pay for this. Carl and I have paid for this. But their contribution does go a long way.
So thank you very, very much. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.